Hey, what's up, everybody? It's GleeCon, and I'm here once more with Millie in Darnassus, bringing you another in-game lore book reading from the classic Lore of Warcraft experience. We're going through all of the side content lore that we kind of skipped on our first lore run. This is stuff that's not strictly considered canon. Basically, anything that was even questionable, Blizzard just like, when they started to really start heavily retconning, they just wiped away a lot of the stuff, a lot of the old lore books. Although those lore books still exist, they're just no longer strictly considered canon. So today we're going to read one called Rise of the Blood Elves. We are up to the things in the expansion to Warcraft 3, getting very close to the lore that's tied to this game itself. So stay a while and listen. Millie was already here in Darnassus from our last in-game lore, so I brought her over to the Craftsman's Terrace. If you are not near Darnassus, or you're like, man, I don't want to go there, in the Tower of Azor in Elwyn Forest, you can find this book. If you're Horde, if you go to Arathi and Hammerfall, you can find it. And as just pretty much we've seen from the multiple runs we've been doing over the past week, it's one of the many, many books that are found in Scalaman. It's almost like probably half the books in the game are found there. All right, here we go. At this time, the Undead Scourge had essentially transformed Lordaeron and Quel'Thalas into the toxic Plague Lands. There were only a few pockets of Alliance resistance forces left. One such group, consisting primarily of High Elves, was led by the last of the Sunstrider dynasty, Prince Kael'thas. Kael, an accomplished wizard himself, grew wary of the failing alliance. The High Elves grieved for the loss of their homeland and decided to call themselves Blood Elves in honor of their fallen people. Yet as they worked to keep the Scourge at bay, they suffered greatly at being cut off from the Sunwell that had empowered them. Desperate to find a cure for his people's racial addiction to magic, Kael did the unthinkable. He embraced his people's highborn ancestry and joined with Illidan and his Naga in hopes of finding a new magical power source upon which to feed. The remaining Alliance commanders condemned the Blood Elves as traitors and cast them out for good. With no place left to go, Kael and his Blood Elves followed Lady Vaj to Outland to help contest the Warden. We just read that on our last Lauren Short yesterday. We read about the Wardens and how they pursued them. Maiev, who had recaptured Illidan, with the combined Naga and Blood Elf forces, they managed to defeat Maiev and free Illidan from her grasp. Based in Outland, Illidan gathered his forces for a second strike against the Lich King and his fortress of Icecrown. We know how that went, and we know that there are no Blood Elves really. They're in two pockets. They're up here in Silvermoon Forest, Eversong Forest, Ghostlands up there, and that kind of gets more explored in the very next expansion, and a lot of them are over in Outland. It's kind of like the good versus the bad Blood Elves that are left, and even the neutral ones. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching and listening to this episode. I hope you liked it. If you did, smash that subscribe. Join me on future episodes, and I'll see you guys on the very next episode of Lore of Warcraft. This one is in the pipe, 5x5.